So, do you remember when lockdown started in the UK and Rishi Sunak started appearing on the news everywhere, and a lot of people had never even seen him or heard of him before, to be honest, and he started making a lot of announcements about furlough schemes, and everyone was going, wow, this guy Rishi, he's not bad, is he, for a Tory? He's all right, and he's announcing some good stuff that's going to help everybody out. Maybe he should be the next Prime Minister. Maybe he should take over from Boris. Because for a Tory, he's not bad, is he? He's a good guy, and it turns out that he's not, right? It turns out that he's a prominent member of a Tory government, and he thinks and acts and behaves like a prominent member of a Tory government. I mean, he kept that quiet, so he's done very little over the past 6, 8, 9 months, is it now, to help anyone who's self-employed. And now they have announced some support for self-employed people, but it's only for people whose jobs are considered viable, which apparently doesn't really include any artists or performers or the people who work in and run arts and performance venues, which is not only bleak for the artists in question and the people who work in those places, but also it paints a pretty bleak picture of the cultural landscape of this country going forward, because essentially Rishi Sunak has said that the arts as an industry are essentially surplus to requirements. You know, they're a luxury that we don't really need going forward. Well, maybe those of us in the arts shouldn't have spent quite so much time as we do slagging off the Tories. So what Rishi has said is essentially people who have a job that isn't considered viable need to retrain. Now, I don't know what they should retrain as. I don't know what jobs are going to be available, because if you retrain, you're competing with all the people who already have jobs in that field, who already have experience, who left school and trained to do those things, who are younger, who are more driven and career-minded in that specific area. And there's going to be loads of people looking for work who are all retraining, so I don't know where all these jobs are going to come from. But look, don't worry, Rishi hasn't left people high and dry. There is a government careers quiz that you can do to find out what sort of job that you would be suitable. My fiancée Ellie works in hospitality, and she thought, well, I think my business is going to be okay, but doesn't hurt to have a backup. I'll do the survey, find out what I should be. Turns out the government recommends that she gets a job in hospitality, so that's helpful. Now, luckily for me, but tragically for my ego, comedy has never been my only source of income. I've always had a day job as well, part-time, so I haven't been left without any income. But nonetheless, I thought I'd try this survey and find out what they recommend I should do should I ever need to retrain. Okay, so I'm going to do my best to fill in this quiz as accurately as possible and be as honest as possible with the questions. That might take a while, so it's probably time for some questionnaire music. It asks if I find it hard understanding other people's point of view. I mean, which people? Rishi Sunak? I want to make things better for people. And, I mean, who's picking strongly disagree on that? I want to make things actively worse. Oh, well, you'd probably make a good Tory MP, or maybe even you could take a prominent role in a Tory government. Alright guys, it's time to see my results. Wish me luck. Okay, well according to this, a role that might suit me is a yoga therapist. Yoga therapists use yoga to help people with physical issues, emotional issues, or specific health problems. And the average salary is Variable. It seems like this website gets a lot of mileage out of the word variable. So that's a freelance self-employed role, apparently. Good, because those are secure. I mean, I can't touch my toes, so I tried to do yoga on Wii Fit once and hurt myself quite badly. But no, sure, I just retrain as a yoga therapist. I'm in my physical prime. Tried to go for a jog yesterday, managed very nearly a kilometre, so I think people will come to me for yoga therapy and be like, mate, you're in a worse state than I am. This is bullshit. I'm like about the least... I thought for yoga you had to be flexible. I'm about the least flexible person that I know. By which I mean I have no interest in being a yoga therapist, and I am not going to budge on that. It's a flexibility joke. I saw a documentary actually about the guy who founded Bikram Yoga on Netflix, and it actually sounded like a great job if you want to kind of be essentially a messianic cult leader who rinses people for their money and abuses women. But I only want to do like one out of those three. Alright guys, well, we confirmed, if there was any doubt, that quiz is bullshit. It feels as though Rishi Sunak doesn't have much sympathy for people who've built lives around careers that they've worked for a long time, careers that are deeply skilled in fact, and take a lot of work and effort to get into, and he just thinks, well, that's fine, just cast that aside and retrain as something else. And all I can say is, I hope that at some future point in the not too distant future, maybe Rishi has to retrain and get himself a different career. Okay guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really does make a difference. And maybe, if you wanted to, you could donate to my Ko-fi account. And, I mean, who knows? Maybe at some point in the future, this could be a viable career. Anyway, see you again. Bye.